What's up everybody, Jacob Blank back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I did a $33,000 deal in San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because this was my very first deal I did in San Antonio, Texas when I went into that market, and it was a big deal for $33,000. So stick around to the end of the video to see how I did this deal. Also, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives. So I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. Other than that, let's get right into the video. Alright, so I did a $33,000 deal in San Antonio, Texas. This was my very first deal that I got closed in San Antonio, Texas, which is super amazing. Normally when you go into a new market, you have this grace period of trial and error, kind of figuring out the market, what things sell for, what you need to lock things up for. So normally when you go into a new market, your deals are a lot smaller, maybe 4, 5, 3, 6 grand deals, small deals because you're testing the waters and you're figuring out the market. You don't know the exact prices to lock the deals up at, you don't know what to maximize at, what to sell at. So normally your deals are a lot smaller when you first enter a market. So that's why I was so lucky to score a big deal on my first deal in San Antonio, Texas, making me a $33,000 assignment fee. So what marketing strategy did this deal come from? It came from cold calling. You guys know I love cold calling. And this is why, right? Cold calling marketing is very affordable, right? $20 lead, cost per lead under $20, turned into a $33,000 deal. So this deal came from cold calling. Now once this lead came into my system, I actually locked up the deal. Because when we enter a new market, sometimes I like to get on the phone and try to, make sure we acquire some deals in this new market with my skill set. Instead of just my acquisition guys going after the deals, I try to produce some money in that new market right away. So that's why I got on the phone and I was calling a little bit when we entered the Texas market. So I got on the phone with the seller and he was a super nice guy, and I started building rapport and figuring out what he needed and what I could provide. He let me know that he was moving to Fort Worth, Texas, that he already bought a house out there and the close of escrow on that house was in about a month. And he wanted to sell his house here in San Antonio around the same time as he purchased that one. That way he could do this all simultaneously and move on to the next chapter of his life. So I was super excited. I was like, great, we have a month timeline right here. I know I'm going to be able to get this deal closed soon, and I know I'm going to be able to get paid soon. Now the seller wanted $115,000 for the property, okay? He wanted $115,000 for the property. He told me the property was in pretty good shape, just normal wear and tear. He told me there was some foundation cracks to be a little bit worried about, but when I saw the pictures of them, I realized that the foundation really wasn't messed up. But I used the foundation that he thought was messed up to my advantage in negotiation. So he wanted $115,000. I negotiated with him and I was able to get the property under contract for $95,000. But I get it a little bit lower than that, and you'll see how. So then I sent someone out to the property to get pictures of the property. Remember, he told me it was just normal wear and tear. The property was in pretty good shape. Well, when I got the pictures back, I found out this guy was a semi-hoarder. He hoarded a lot of stuff in the house. He wasn't terrible. It wasn't a terrible case of hoarding, but it was pretty bad. There was a lot of stuff in the house, and in the shower, there was literally the tiles on the shower were duct taped on the wall. Like everything was falling off the wall in the shower, so he had duct taped the tiles onto the wall. So as you can see, the property was in worse shape than what he described it to me to be in. Also, the house was very dirty. In the vents in the ceiling, the AC vents, there was a bunch of buildup of dust and black dirt building up on the vents and around them on the ceiling. So that told me, hey, they're going to need a full clean out of the ductwork in this house. And that's a good penny too, to do a complete clean out of the ducts to make sure everything's clean, to remove the dust issue. So I knew that was going to cost money as well. So I used the foundation, I used that bathroom with the tiles falling off the wall, I used the hoarding, I used the dust on the vents, I used the damage to the kitchen cabinets. I used all these things to my advantage to negotiate the price down. So I had it at $95,000 under contract, right? and I started to negotiate with him to bring him down. And I was able to price drop him to $90,000. So now I had the property at $90,000, which was super amazing. I felt like I had it at a reasonable price so that I could make money on it. Keep in mind, this was a new market. I really didn't know what I was doing, what it would sell for, or what to sell it at. So I was just comfortable at that $90,000 price. I knew we would be able to make money. I wasn't sure how much we were going to be able to make. But then I started running my numbers. I got all my stuff together, all my pictures together, everything organized to blast out the deal to cash buyers, to market the deal and try to sell it. And I realized, hey, I think we actually have this deal at a pretty good spread. So I blasted out the deal at $129,990. Now, once I blasted out the deal, I actually got a good amount of hits. Keep in mind, in the meantime, while we just entered this market, I had my VAs going through Facebook, going through the comments on Facebook groups, real estate Facebook groups in Texas, and adding cash buyers. So at this time, we were able to build up a 300-person cash buyers list in Texas, and majority of those buyers were in San Antonio. So I had a pretty good buyer pool to sell this deal out to sell to. So once I blasted that deal out at $129,990, I got a pretty good amount of offers coming in. Now, if you want to learn how to build your buyers list like that, like I just said, I built a 300-person buyer list in like a short amount of time. Go watch my video, How to Find Cash Buyers with Facebook. It will show you everything you need to know in order to build a buyer's list. That is on my YouTube channel. I posted it a couple months ago. Check that video out. But yeah, anyways, I got a bunch of offers coming in. Some came in low, some came in, mediocre, and then one was full price basically. He was full price till he realized a couple other things about the property, and then he dropped me down. He dropped me down a little bit. We negotiated, and I got him to agree to buy the property for $123,000 sight unseen. He told me he would just do a drive-by and buy the property without walking through it. So that was super amazing, right? I took a little bit of money off, right? He came in at full price, but I gave him a little bit of money off in order to buy it sight unseen to make it easier for me. So that's what we did. I signed the assignment with him for $123,000. He deposited $3,000 non-refundable earnest money to title the next day, and I knew I had my buyer locked in for this deal. So I had it at $90,000 and I have it sold at $123,000. I was pretty excited. Boom, my first deal in this new market was going to be for $33,000. How amazing, right? Well, that was great, but then we ran into problems with title. That's why you always got to remember, real estate is real estate. There's things that pop up. There's challenges to overcome in order to get these deals closed. And on this deal, there was a challenge. So the seller got divorced with his wife, and she died a few years later. So we needed to make sure the divorce was settled and finalized. That way the property was completely in his name. We also needed an affidavit of heirship, so that way we could forget about the heirs and get everything organized. So again, the property is all in his name. So we had to go through title to get this done. We went through title to get the affidavit of heirship done. Title could have also, worked out that divorce to finalize it, but it was better to just go back to his lawyer that did the divorce to have him finalize it. And this is a problem a lot of the times. You get divorced and they do a lot of the paperwork to get it going, but they never finalize the divorce. They never put the property completely in your name. So, this is something that you need to look out for if you ever go through something like that. Make sure they finalize everything. So he went back to his lawyer that did the divorce for him years back and had him finalize it. This took about 20 days to get that finalized, get the affidavit of heirship all finalized. And once we had all that sorted out so the property was completely in his name, we could move forward to the close. And that's what we did. We moved forward to the close, and from there on, the process was easy. Got the deal closed, buyer wired money early in the morning, seller signed, buyer signed, deal closed, $33,000 check mailed to me, $33,000 deal in San Antonio, Texas. Brand new market, super amazing. Also, something to know about San Antonio, Texas. Normally the deal size there is, the average deal size in San Antonio, Texas is around $10,000. So it was crazy that I was able to score a big one, $33,000 deal in San Antonio, which is amazing. Since then, we have done an $11,000 deal, a $14,000 deal, a $7,000 deal, and a $22,000 deal in San Antonio, Texas. So San Antonio, as you can see, has been a pretty decent market for us, and we're enjoying it. We're also in Houston, we're in Fort Worth, we're in Dallas, we're in Plano. So we are all over Texas now. We've done deals in Houston and Dallas and San Antonio so far. And overall, we're liking the Texas market. The deal size is a little bit smaller than Arizona, but acquiring them, there's a little bit less competition. So overall, we have been liking the Texas market. A lot of the times when we first get started in this business, we want to stick to our own market and we're like scared to go virtual. But I promise you, when you take these steps to go virtual, it becomes super easy and it's actually really amazing and fun to be able to never see a property, not even live near the property or in the same state, and be able to make assignment fees like this. So I highly recommend figuring out how to go virtual and be in a couple markets. Don't stretch yourself too thin, don't be in too many markets, but I do recommend being in a couple markets. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the story of how I did a $33,000 deal in San Antonio, Texas, completely virtually. I hope this video was enjoyable. If you liked the video, make sure you go down below, hit the like button. Also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go down below, hit the red button, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.